welcome back to the channel from the Ferrari this time. It's been quite a lot of Ferrari recently on my social media. The poor RS4 seems to have been kind of ignored, but believe me, I drive it a lot. It's just I haven't had time to record anything related to the RS4, but I will do that soon. I think that car needs some love as well. But since it's been really sunny and warm, and with this virus thing and lockdown and everything, I thought I'm going to drive the Ferrari as much as I can, because if I die tomorrow, at least my ghost will not think I wish I had driven the Ferrari more. So that's why I'm in the car. But what I've also learned is that Ferrari is a completely different thing to the Aston Martin or the Porsche, and it's something you have to learn. When I first started driving this car, I used to think, no, it's a GT car, drive it slow, or even drive it fast but in a straight line, and you can't throw it around corners and do stuff that I used to do in the Porsche. Like very aggressive, spirited driving, whereas you're not breaking the speed limits and doing anything, but you can go around corners on country roads and do a lot of zigzagging and things. So what I found out from Chris Harris's video, in which he was driving a Ferrari California T on a racetrack with this woman, and I think they just had a GoPro, so they recorded this whole thing and put it on YouTube, and he was driving it very, very fast and very aggressively, and in the end he said he was extremely surprised how the car handled and how it performed. And I thought, okay, maybe there's something wrong I'm doing with the car, that I'm not able to get what he's getting out of it. So I took it down to some empty country roads, and then where the speed limit is 60 miles an hour, but you can't really do 60 because it's very windy, and I put it into sport mode, and I started to push it a little more and a little more, because it's not the car's limits, it's my own limits that I'm testing and checking how am I able to handle the car, if I'm able to control it, if I'm able to enjoy it. And lo and behold, I was very, very surprised that the car just performed like a Porsche or any other sports car that I've owned in my life, and it wasn't unstable in any way. What I realized is that the normal mode, the comfort mode, which I drive in all the time because of the awful roads in London, make the car a little wobbly and bouncy. But once you put it into sport mode and the suspension tightens up, it becomes a completely different car. And because the gearbox is in the back and the engine's in the front, there's a very good weight distribution. So it sounds and drives like a proper sports car, even though it's like a GT convertible hardtop, supposed to be a softy car. But it's not really if you know how to drive it and push it. And that's what I did, and I am telling you guys, if you buy a California T or a California, you won't be disappointed, because this car is just out of this world. I mean, I say this about most of the cars that I'm enjoying, it's out of this world, but this one actually made me enjoy the car a lot more than I thought I would. And in my head, I thought this is a car I'm going to use for driving around Europe and doing GT kind of trips, where I have enough storage space and then I have enough power, and it's a convertible, it's a hardtop, it has both things. But I think this could be a car that ticks all the boxes and does everything. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and film and show you some of this when I get to a nice country road, because this car is a beast. I took one of my friends who has not been in a Ferrari before, and he was like, oh my god, I can't believe this car is capable of doing what you're making it do. The way this car downshifts is unreal. I'm in Kent, in one of those amazing country roads, which is really windy with a 60 mile an hour speed limit. And these backfires are so amazing. Switch it into any gear at any time. It just doesn't ask why, it just instantly obeys. And these backfires, I don't know how they manage to do them. I'm sure it's throwing some unburnt fuel in the back exhaust and then it burns and explodes, because you have really loud pops and bangs. And they don't sound synthetic. There was a 13-mile zone back there going through a little village. I had to slow down kids and anything. So now back to civilization. Slow down a bit. Next. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, slow down. It says 50 and 30 around the bend. In this car I could do it at 50, but the other side might get scared and end up in a bush. The other day I did a 90-degree bend. It wasn't like a 90-degree, but it was like turning, and I did that at 60 miles an hour. It was a 70 zone, so I just brought it down to 60, and this car did not skid. So good. I think I could only do that in a four-wheel drive car, which was extremely stable, and this being a rear-wheel drive, it was very impressive.